Nick Sirianni and this Eagles team finds a new way to piss me off every day.
Now, Broad Street Sports, the best Philly sports podcast.
So I was able to collect my thoughts and really go over everything that I was feeling after that pathetic, devastating, and just loser of a loss to Atlanta this week. And I was, you can attack any way. You can look at this any way, and you can find 15 different reasons why this team lost Monday night. You could say Nick Sirianni sucked. You could say Kellen Moore sucked. You could say the defensive game plan from Vic Fangio sucked. That's all true. You can say that Saquon Barkley is the main reason why we lost, because if he caught that pass, the Eagles were going to score, or the Eagles were going to pick up the first down and ultimately win the game. That is another way that you could say that the Eagles were going to win. Or that is another way that the Eagles lost, the main reason. You could say that all the flags, all the penalties against the Eagles' offensive line is another reason why this team lost. You could say that the defensive line and getting no pressure and no sacks and not being able to stop the run is another reason why the Eagles lost. You can say that our secondary and our tackling skills are just not good, or just not good. These are all valid reasons and valid excuses and good arguments on why the Eagles lost. So I was trying to find some clarity, trying to find why, trying to find the how, because this just doesn't happen. This is something that should not happen, but it happened. I was trying to find reasons. I was trying to find ways that this could have happened. And I was really looking for reassurance that Nick Sirianni, who is the head coach of this Eagles team, was going to take control of his team and really lay home, really lay into these guys that you have to play better football. You have to do an all-around better job. But he didn't. Nick Sirianni disappointed me once again. I'm so over Nick Sirianni. I'm so over him. I can't take this guy. He's a moron. He's a moron. So, as I stated, I was looking for the Eagles, for Nick Sirianni to give this team words. Just lay into them. It was a problem the way that they lost Monday night. All around a bad football game from this entire team. Not just one group, not just one specific player, the entire team. I was looking and wanting to hear and get the reassurance and the clarity that Nick Sirianni was going to do his job. So today, I hop on Twitter and I get the report that Nick Sirianni did not speak to the team following the loss. Now, I heard it first from Reed Blankenship. You heard Reed Blankenship say that we didn't hear anything from Nick Sirianni. Then you hear Jordan Mailata basically confirm that Nick Sirianni did not speak to this Eagles football team after that pathetic and devastating loss. So my question is what is Nick Sirianni's job? If he got the offensive rights taken away from him, the defensive rights taken away from him, basically he has no rights to this team besides the fact that he's a motivator. Nick Sirianni is supposed to be a motivator to this team. He's supposed to be a motivator. He's supposed to be the guy that does the press conferences, the guy that gets the team fired up, the guy that pushes this team. So to hear from players, and not him, from players, ultimately he did saying that he didn't speak to the team, but hearing from the team first that he didn't speak to the team after being, quote unquote, his job title ultimately being the motivator, it sent me the wrong way. It pissed me off. Really, pissed me off. That is part of your job. Part of your job is figuring out or being articulate, firing your guys up, laying into your guys when you had 5 ineligible men down field flags, laying into them on the sideline, doing what you gotta do. He didn't, and he's not. He's a problem. He's been a problem, and he's going to continue to be a problem. I mean, I'm clueless. So, Nick Sirianni, ultimately, Nick Sirianni confirms that he did not speak to the team following the Eagles' loss to the Falcons via Sports Radio 94 WIP. And I quote, here's what he said to WIP. Here's a quote. I just thought Jalen was spot on with what he said. His passion was awesome. When a player is saying everything that you would say, there is no reason for me to speak afterwards. Let that sink in, folks. I'm going to read it again because this is just retarded. I just thought Jalen was spot on with what he said. His passion was awesome. When a player is saying everything you would say, there's no reason for me to speak afterwards. Are you friggin' kidding me? Are you friggin' kidding me? I'm lost with words. I'm lost. What is he doing? What is he talking about? The fact that the only person that was able to speak was Jalen Hurts, and trust me, I'm not too big on Jalen Hurts. And honestly, Jalen Hurts he had an okay game, but he wasn't too good. He's the only guy that's able to speak to this football team. You're telling me after a devastating, pathetic, and uninspiring loss, Jalen Hurts is the only guy that's going to speak to this team? This 53-man roster isn't going to hear from their head coach? Are you freaking kidding me? That is some of the dumbest, most pathetic loser shit I've ever heard. Any head coach in the league would have every right to fire up them guys. You cuss out them guys. Yell at them guys in the locker room after the loss and their performance that they put out on the field Monday night. Any other coach would have done it. But we have a moron named Nick Sirianni who doesn't want to do anything. He literally doesn't want to do anything. He has all of his coaching job titles taken away from him. He literally has no jobs. Now he wants to sit here and say he can't even give a speech to the team afterwards. I'm lost. What is he doing? What is he doing? Oh, my God. It's the same thing over and over and over again with this guy. Every day, this Eagles team and Nick Sirianni finds a new way to piss me off. What a joke. What a joke. You know that? What a joke. You can't speak to them. You can't speak to the football team after they lose at home on a Monday night. What a joke. What a loser. Really? I mean, that's the way I have to put it because, I mean, why? Why can you not speak to the team? Why? Why not? What's the problem, Nick? What's the problem? A little too scared. The guys are intimidating. The guys are a little pissed off, kind of intimidating you. That is crazy. That is pathetic. I mean, really pathetic. Nick Sirianni did not speak to the 53-man roster after that pathetic and disastrous loss versus Atlanta because Jalen Hurts had a speech and took all the words away from Nick Sirianni. Are you kidding me? Nick Sirianni could not have laid into his offensive lineman that got an eligible men downfield 5 different times. He couldn't yell at Saquon Barkley for dropping that pass. He couldn't yell at the defense for not being able to get any pressure, not being able to stop the run. Now having defensive breakdowns, secondary breakdowns to end the game on that final drive for Atlanta. Nick Sirianni couldn't find anything to say. Are you friggin' kidding me? That is, it's pathetic. It's pathetic. Like, what are we doing as a team? He's the guy that's running this team, and that's him. Are you kidding me? I have no idea what to say. How is a head coach? How is Nick Sirianni, after a loss to Atlanta, not going to speak to his team? He's going to let Jalen Hurts do everything. How is that possible? That doesn't make any sense to me. After the way that it went down last year, after the way that everything went down last year, it spiraled out of control. Then this year, you come in and you have a disastrous, pathetic loser loss. And your head coach doesn't speak to your team. Your head coach doesn't say anything. That's a serious problem. Especially because Nick Sirianni, his main job title at this point is motivator and speaker of the team. He's not doing his job. Another example of Nick Sirianni not doing his job. Why is he not speaking to the team? Why? How? How is this allowed? How is Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie looking at this situation and saying, yeah, that's our coach? How is this team going to respect Nick Sirianni after he doesn't speak to the team after that loss? That is pathetic out of Nick Sirianni. Pathetic. And it's the same thing over and over and over again with Nick Sirianni. Literally, he does the same crap over and over and over again. And he makes people like me talk about it. It's annoying and it's pathetic. It's getting really old talking about this guy. I'm over it. Another example of Nick Sirianni not doing his job, not being a leader, and just being a moron, man. I mean, I'm over it. I really am over all of this with Nick Sirianni. Whatever, man. Hopefully we can pick it up going into New Orleans, really, but not looking good, folks. But thank you all for tuning in to Broad Street Sports. I love and appreciate every single one of you. Thank you all for all of the support. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe. Send this to people you know, and also go on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, and go follow me at Broad Street Sports. It's where I post my live reactions right after the game, and that's also where I post clips of games or of what I'm saying on there. So please go do that. I love and appreciate every single one of you. Thanks.